Haaland could be leaving my FPL team once again this season, but who could possibly replace him? Let's take a look in my latest team selection video. Let's get straight into things with the goalkeeper and defenders. Areola has the shot in goal again, just because of that amazing performance he had last week. Of course, he's got fire behind him in the graphic. Anyone who scores over 10 points in an FPL game week, the previous game week, will have fire behind them. So look out for that in this video. Hopefully it kind of shows you what to expect and, you know, the form the player is in at the moment. But Areola, of course, has a fantastic fixture over Dubravka. Dubravka's got Chelsea away, of course, so not an awful fixture if you have to play him in your squad. But for me, Areola will start for me with that Burnley at home fixture. Now, here's where things get a little bit interesting. A lot of my potential transfer targets, well, the first three transfer of the video, there could be a potential hit later down the line in the video, so keep watching to the end to see that. But Estupiñán, let's have a little chat about him. I made a transfer targets video last week, I believe, and I mentioned Estupiñán could be the man to get rid of in your side. I didn't end up getting rid of him. There was other more important transfers I had to make, getting Heung-min Son back into my side because Wang Hee-chan was injured. Overall, worked out pretty good. Estupiñán did start, I believe, but ended up getting a 1 pointer or a 0 pointer. I can't remember too well. If I had to guess, I think it would probably be a 0 pointer. I do believe he got a yellow card. But Forest at home, is he going to play? Hopefully tonight we can get a little bit of info about that. So tonight, Brighton actually play Roma away. So we'll kind of see how De Zerbi lines Brighton up against Roma. Maybe Estupiñán plays a full game over there, which indicates he wouldn't start against Forest. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Lamptey gets a full game against Roma, and then Estupiñán would play against Forest in the league. Obviously, it's not as black and white as that. It could be the case that Lamptey plays both games and Estupiñán just comes on for 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the end of those games. But I'm pretty optimistic about owning Estupiñán now. I feel as though with the injuries they've got in the Brighton side, it makes sense for Estupiñán to play on the left and possibly Lamptey to actually play on that right-hand side, which he definitely can do, but it's whether De Zerbi wants to play that system. If he doesn't, Estupiñán's probably not going to play, but we will get a lot more information on that later tonight. Gabriel against Brentford at home. Great fixture. Great team at the moment. Arsenal are absolutely on fire. It wouldn't be surprising if they just kept up their good performances all the way at the end of the season, and the title race will just be insane. But yeah, I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. They're really massive on keeping clean sheets, it seems. You know, obviously we've seen the passion from Ben White a few weeks ago, having a little argument with believe it was Zinchenko about conceding a late goal. Yeah, really promising. The goal threat from Gabriel is quite high actually, which is quite surprising. But yeah, those headers, absolutely crazy. Set pieces from Arsenal are looking really interesting at the moment, especially the way they were setting up against Sheffield United. They almost had a 3 at the back post and then only 1 actually in the centre of the box, putting it short to Odegaard and then kind of working it from there. Didn't really see it too much in action in that match, but overall pretty good. Pedro Porro, I seen a Twitter video just this morning after I made this graphic that there was a small training video and Pedro Porro actually wasn't a part of that video. Neither was Richarlison. Of course, Richarlison injured as well. So maybe it's the time that Pedro Porro moves along. It's just a case of, do I want him for game week 30? Because I actually am going to free hit in 29. Of course, Pedro Porro has Fulham in 30. So it could be the case that Alex Moreno or Colwell gets out of the squad and then somebody else comes in to replace. If there was to be anyone to come in, it would more than likely be a Bournemouth defender. There's there was a clear option of Senesi that we could easily pick just because overall the best option. Now we're kind of left with 3 defenders that will most likely get 90 minutes, and it's the case of just picking one of them, in my opinion. Possibly you could go for Zabani. Not sure that's how you say his name, but a lot of hype around Zabani at the moment. I haven't looked too much into his data, to be honest with you, but a lot of hype around that, so that's something I'll be looking into for my defensive transfer. Midfielders is a little bit different. I'm actually just really happy with the midfielders at the moment. Son, Gordon, Foden, Saka, and Palmer, of course, on the bench. Palmer with Newcastle at home. I'm just not sure whether to play him or Gordon. I don't want to bench any of my forwards, and you'll see why in the next section of the video when I talk about the possible hit I might take in my side. But, yeah, overall just super happy with my midfielders. Saka on fire, Foden just playing amazing. I say this every single team selection video. Foden just, what a player. Gordon versus Palmer is kind of the dilemma here. I'm going to be playing Son no matter what. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Newcastle losing Trippier to injury. It tempts me to play Palmer, but I don't know. Just the way Chelsea playing, it's not amazing football. But now there's Newcastle, so do I think Newcastle can do it away from home? Possibly. Yeah, it's a real toss-up between them at the moment. Possibly we could look at some information before the deadline itself, maybe a leaked lineup or something similar to help me make that decision. But for now, Gordon is there in the side. Heung-min Son, he's came in at the side. He's done quite well. Aston Villa away, though, is a tricky fixture. I think there will be goals in the game. 2 teams playing quite high lines. Maybe Son and Watkins could both take advantage of that. Of course, Watkins is in the side. There's a little sneak peek for the next section. But yeah, overall for the midfielders, I'm just super happy with them at the moment. I don't think there's many other people I would try bring in. You could look at possibly a Salah. It is rumoured he's back in training, and again, we will get more information tonight because Liverpool are playing Sparta Prague. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I do believe he's in the squad for that game tonight, but yeah, overall super happy with the midfielders. Now here it is, the forwards. Let's leave Haaland to last because we need to have a little chat about Haaland. Watkins, Tottenham at home. I've already spoke a little bit about that when I was talking about the high line of Spurs. Possibly Watkins could take advantage of that quite well. Normally, if a team plays a quite high line against Aston Villa, Watkins does carry the ball quite well up the pitch. Does that lead to more goals and assists? Very much possible, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Sometimes I feel as though he gets dragged out quite wide. But when he's scoring goals, I can't really complain. So, of course, he's going to start in my side. Solanke with the double game week, of course, possibly bringing in a Bournemouth defender. I've already had Solanke for a long time now. I wanted to hold him all the way up until these next few weeks. So, here we are. The plan has come together. Solanke double game week. Probably the best double game week you'll get in the Premier League. And, of course, has to be my captain, no matter what. Of course, if we get injury news, then maybe not. But, yeah, absolutely certified captain. Pardon me. But, Haaland, let's have a chat about him. So, the thinking behind Haaland, possibly getting rid of Haaland, it's a dilemma. Because Haaland has Liverpool away from home. Not a great fixture whatsoever. He has no fixture in 29. And then when it comes back to 30, you've got Arsenal at home. And then you've got Villa at home on the next fixture after that. So he's got 3 fixtures in the next 4 weeks. And they're some of the hardest fixtures you'll get in the league. Yes, Haaland is pretty fixture-proof, and you can do it to absolutely any team in the Premier League because we know he has scored against all of the Premier League teams now, especially after he scored against Brentford the other week. Yeah, we know he can do it. But if you're not free hitting in 29, I would possibly look at getting a double game week player in instead of Haaland. Getting rid of Haaland for maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and then getting them back. The teams that you need to focus on for that are, of course, Bournemouth. If you haven't got Solanke could be the move, but if you're not free hitting in 29, it's a slight struggle because obviously Solanke doesn't have a fixture in 29. But on the other hand, you could go for a Carlton Morris. Now, Carlton Morris has Crystal Palace and Bournemouth away as a double this game week. He has Forest at home next game week when everyone pretty much blanks. So if you've already used your free hit, or you're not planning on using your free hit in 29, I think Haaland to Carlton Morris actually just isn't a bad transfer. Of course, Carlton Morris could just get no attacking returns whatsoever, but he'll get his feature points, pardon me, up to his 60 minutes, 90 minutes. He always plays quite a fair bit for Luton. But yeah, Haaland to Carlton Morris could be a real possibility for a lot of people. For me, I'm on the fence with it. The only reason I do say that is because in the last few times that City and Liverpool have met, there have been quite a lot of goals in them games. Yes, you've had the odd low-scoring game here and there, but overall pretty high-scoring games. And you know, the way City attack, everyone kind of chips in with goals, but Haaland is the goal scorer at the end of the day. If there's going to be goals in that Liverpool game, Haaland's probably going to be a part of that. Is Carlton Morris really that good of an FPL asset? Not necessarily, but you're really getting him in for the fixtures and the possible help in that blank game week 29. So, yeah, like I say, free hitting in 29, maybe it's not the right move, but if you're not free hitting in 29, you've used your free hit, like I know a few people have, Carlton Morris is probably a really good transfer. But yeah, that is everything for the team. If you're still watching to this point now, hopefully that means you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please consider dropping a like and a subscribe on my channel. It's going to massively help me, and hopefully these videos are helping you guys out in FPL as well. But that is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.